Mayor Board, I'd like to introduce Kenneth Gallant. He was our summer intern this year. He's a senior with UNC Pembroke, and he came in at a pretty fortunate time. When he came in, I never had an intern before, so I wasn't really quite sure what I was gonna have to do. I polished my own shoes, you know, so what Kenneth and I sat down, and some of the things that we were thinking about in the police department at that time were security measures for the skate parks, but we didn't really know where to look or what to do. And I brought it up to Kenneth, and Kenneth took the ball and ran with it. He's done an exceptional job, both in research and providing meetings, setting up meetings with other communities. We met with Swan Pearl, Park and Rec, and their police chief came down here to review our site. We had an opportunity to sit down and talk about their wish list and what we were looking at and so on. But I'll turn it over to Kenneth. He did a great job, and he's got a good short presentation for you about what he did this summer.
Thanks, Chief. Alright, so pretty much to sum it up, I was tasked with assisting and researching security methods and park operation methods. Sorry about that. My initial research led me to find the Tony Hawk Foundation. They specialize in building skate parks in underprivileged and ill-funded communities in an attempt to better that community. And this survey is taken directly from after they built a couple of parks in 2009. They interviewed 102 law enforcement officers across 37 states, and the vast majority of officers believe that the skate park became an asset to their community, and that there was no instance of wrongdoing or mischief going on within the skate park. Almost half of the officers noticed an instantaneous decrease in youth crime, and also believe that it helps strengthen their bond with the youth within that community. Also found out that there's two types of supervision you can use at a skate park, formal and informal. Formal is where the skate park must be attended and monitored at all hours of operation. It's structured and secure, ensures that all the patrons are happy with their needs met, and it's also good because you can have direct rule enforcement, which is very nice because with my experiences down here at the park, I can already see that the most common occurrences, they don't want to wear their pads. So formal supervision is great in that aspect. Informal is more minimalist and relies on passive observation. It's free and open like, Western Park in Cape Carteret. So free, kind of like how you have it now, no fencing. It allows the community to directly engage with one another. The only thing is it lacks direct rule enforcement, and there's a potential for unseen crime to occur on site. This list here is the 13 municipalities across North Carolina that I corresponded with. Each municipality has or has had a skate park within it, and I was able to spark their knowledge and gain insight on what they would recommend we use at our park and what kind of security methods they use currently. Every single Parks and Rec director on that list recommended that we use formal supervision just based on their experiences with it. They also highly recommend the use of security systems such as cameras and alarms. The alarms are solely based out of Cary. That's because they have a shop attached to the skate park. It's like a focal point where you enter in. The inspection sheets came from the in-house meeting, like Chief said, with Swansboro. They have inspection sheets to ensure that any disruptions to the features, damages are noted, it's taken care of. They also incorporate social networking into their skate park by, you guys also have it with a Facebook website for the park. They found that they'll close the park daily if the skateboarders aren't being stewards of the park and letting it get excessively dirty, trash, just normal things like that should be cleaned up right as they happen. They'll post that it's closed and they'll take a picture explaining it, and hopefully that instills a sense of stewardship and ownership to the park, to the skateboarders. Like I said, surveillance cameras were highly recommended. They're affordable, reliable, They can be viewed on an officer's MBT, that's his mobile computer in his car, cell phone, and the computer's back at the station, so it's always accessible. There's a wide array of products, and it helps deter vandalism, and it helps deter after-hours foot traffic, trespassing. And if you want to know more about that, Chief has been working with all the specifics on that. And this is the security system that I found. It's been in use by David Pug. He's the director of the skate park down there in Wilmington. It's pretty simple in nature. All it is about 1/4-inch galvanized chain. You lay it down and it's bolted up so they can't remove it. You lay it down strategically across the skate park, and it inhibits your ability to skateboard after hours. And it's just, he said it's efficient, very easy to maintain, and it hasn't failed him since he's implemented it 15 years ago. And I recommended it to Chief, and the Chief said he's recommending implementing it here as well. Oh, that's it. Any questions?
I know that we back and forth with Duke Energy about our light posts and got confirmation that we can put our cameras on the light posts over there. We're planning to put in a camera system that, as Kent mentioned, can be monitored remotely. And when we get our Richard Golf thing set up, there'll be a presence down there to keep an eye on things.
Much questions I had with one, how we're gonna do it, what we're gonna do with cameras or police. I know we're gonna have some cameras down there, I think, and my plan wasn't to leave a policeman there all the time. Then the second, basically asked question, are you gonna have a Wi-Fi down there that we can run?
Yes.
And it's up and running now.
I never thought about that, so I don't know.
Yep, it's on site.
Already got it.
Yes, sir.
Ken, something that you mentioned was something that Danny said before the meeting, and this is what we had heard from the guys that built our park and at the very beginning. It's the most effective way to police the park is if, you've got a few people who are too bad eggs spoiling the bunch, you just shut it down for a couple of days and say, park's closed today. These 3 guys weren't wearing their pads and they talk back to the police department. So we shut the park down for everybody today. And then peer pressure kind of takes care of the rest of it, because those become the guys who, man, we can't skate today because you did that.
Kenneth, of the 13 towns that you surveyed,
Okay.
what were some of the comments that they had relative to the skate parks?
So ours? The most common comment is obviously the need for an attendant. They also highly recommend fencing to better enforce rules, which I know you guys don't want because of aesthetics. But that, and they also recommended that there needs to be a strong community figure involved with the skate park, and I think that would be Finch from Finch's Board Shop. He seems to be very down to earth with the skaters, relates well with them, and if you have someone like that involved, it'll make things a lot smoother.
We've talked to the guys that were on our committee, including Logan Finch, and said, explain to me, so that you guys have got to be the leaders down here.
Yeah.
You may not want to wear a helmet, but you have to, because the younger kids are gonna look up to you, and you guys are responsible for getting this thing built, and if you wanna keep it open, you've gotta lead the charge and just sort of set the tone that following these rules is normal here, and that's what's to be expected. And I think once that becomes the norm, and there's obviously a learning curve to get there, then it will take care of itself.
I think the biggest problem facing us is how soon can we get this in, because it's needed now. I mean, the kids are already skating, and they, we don't have the cameras, we don't have these things in. As far as the fencing, if we fence in the back the way we have that plan, that should, look, everyone having to come through the front, they can't come into the back and all that. So I think that would solve part of that problem. But other than that, we may have to go, if nothing else, have some volunteers come out and see people who spend some time down there.
The drawback to a fully monitored park is the state law that limits our liability is
Yeah, all the towns have talked to do.
Yeah, funding that position is different for them than for us. Kenneth, thank you, nice job, very nice work.